Hello and welcome back to Peaky Boardgamer. My name is Rakos and today I will teach you how you can play the game Let's Go to Japan, designed by Josh Wood and published by AEG Games. In the game, up to 4 players are scheduling their 6 days of their visit in Japan. The game also has a solo mode and it takes about an hour to finish. Let's move to the table and see how the game is played. In this game, players are in a leisure trip in Japan, visiting 2 major cities, Tokyo and Kyoto. The trip will last for 6 days. On every round, players play a predetermined number of cards on their board, scheduling their visit to various places in specific days and maybe gain immediate bonuses. By the end of the game, all players will have 3 cards on each of the 6 days. Then starts the next game phase, in which players actually start their trip and activate all their cards in a day order from top to bottom. Triggering these cards will award you with the movement of your experience tokens on this track and hopefully triggered events that will grant you victory points or other bonuses. However, every time your card sequence changes location, you will need a train ticket or lose victory points. At the end of the trip, the player that accumulates the highest score will win in Let's Go to Japan. Each player takes a personal board and the components corresponding to the board's color. Players place their wooden mood marker in this space, and then each player takes one of these markers and places their happiness token here and their stress token here. Each player also has a set of these favorable condition tokens. One of the players shuffles their tokens and randomly places one on each of the days marked in the bottom of their board. These are the 6 days of your trip. Then all other players replicate this token sequence on their boards using their own tokens. Each player takes one set of experience tokens and places all tokens on space 0 of this experience track. Finally, each player takes one starting train token. In the middle of the table, create supplies of train, research, extra walk, wild and plus 12 tokens. Also place the round track with its round marker placed in the first purple space. Separate the activity cards based on the city in 2 different piles, shuffle them and place them next to the round track with this side facing upwards. The game is now ready to start. A short interruption here simply to remind you that if you haven't done already, please subscribe to our channel. It will help the channel grow and enable us to bring more videos of your favorite board games. The game is played in rounds. When you finish that round, the game proceeds to the trip phase, which is basically the scoring sequence of the game. On every round, players will draw a specific number of cards. They will then place some of these cards on their board, triggering bonuses, and will end their turn by passing the remaining cards to another player. Let's see this in greater detail. The number and type of cards players get on every round is indicated by the round space. For the first round, each player will draw 1 Kyoto and 1 Tokyo card from the supply. As you can see, this text that applies to the first 4 rounds says that players will play one of these 2 cards and will pass the other to the players sitting to their left. All cards that are passed are placed face down to that player's area on the board. Important, these cards cannot be inspected at this point. This symbol on this round means that on that round, instead of drawing cards from the supply, players will draw the 4 cards that were passed to them earlier. And on that round, as well as the next 4, they will play 2 of these cards and will pass again 2 to the next player. This symbol means that on that round and onwards, players will pass the cards to the players sitting to their right. Finally, on the last round, players will draw the 1 card they have in this area and also a card of their choice from the decks. In the last 4 rounds, players again play only 1 card and pass the other. It's worth saying now that if you have one of these research tokens, you can spend it after you draw all your new cards for the round to draw an additional 3 cards from the decks in any city combination. After you examine your cards, you must then discard any 3 of your cards. If you have more research tokens you wish to use, you repeat the process accordingly. Let's move to playing cards now. Players play their cards on any day, keeping in mind that each day cannot have more than 3 cards. Exception is the use of extra walk tokens, but let's leave this for later. If a day already has cards, then the player can choose the position of the new card in the column. So if I want to play this on Wednesday, I can place it either here, or in the middle, or in the top of other cards. The top part of every card must remain visible, while only the bottom part of the lowest card is visible. This is the highlight of the day, indicating a prerequisite in order to score bonuses, but these bonuses will apply in the trip phase. If a player does not like their options in their hand, they can go for a walk and discard one of their cards to take the top card of any stack and without looking place it on a day the same way they would do with a card from their hand. The card will be placed face down and will be revealed in the second phase when we resolve the trip. As an extra bonus when you walk, you gain 1 research token. The top part of the cards you play indicate movements for your experience tokens or other bonuses. For example, playing this card here will mean that these 2 tokens will move to the next space in the experience track, but this will not happen now, but during the trip in the next phase. Also, on these cards you will find these 4 icons. The red ones mean a movement of your mood marker to the left, while green ones move your marker to the right. Every time your mood marker reaches the rightmost space, you move the happiness marker to the next space and refresh your mood marker to the central space. When you reach the leftmost space, you increase your stress token and refresh again. But again, these changes will apply in the trip phase, not when you play the card. The only thing that happens immediately is if you place the 3rd card of the day. In this case, you have completed scheduling the day and fixed the highlight bonus that will be checked in the trip phase for that column. On top of that, you count the number of icons on the played cards of that column that match the icon of the favorable condition token for that day. If a player has 1, 2 or 3 or more matching icons, they gain the appropriate bonuses and this happens immediately. If only 1 matches, you gain a move of your mood token towards happiness. If 2 icons are matching, you can get either 2 research tokens or 1 wild token. Research tokens were explained earlier, you use them when drawing cards. Wild tokens can be used at any time during the trip phase to increase the level of any of your experience tokens once. If you match 3 or more icons, then you can take a luxury train ticket to place in your play area this side face up or go for an extra walk. If you choose the extra walk, you take the top card of any deck and place it face down in the column as a 4th hidden card without looking. You can even play it as a new top card. It's the same as the go for a walk mechanism, only this time you skip taking a research token. This is also indicated here. If you qualify for a certain bonus, you can also choose the bonuses of lower tiers. So if I had 2 icons matching, I could also choose to move my mood marker. After players play their cards, they pass the remaining cards to the appropriate side player and forward the round marker to the next round. At the end of the last round, players must now place all their train tickets on specific positions on their played cards. As we said, in the upcoming trip phase, all cards will be activated top to bottom, Monday to Saturday. Every time in this sequence you pass from a Kyoto card to a Tokyo card or vice versa, you need to have a ticket placed just like this. Yellow cards are assumed to be either Kyoto or Tokyo, so I would not have to place a train here, but I must place a ticket here because we have a switch. After players place all their acquired tickets, if you had more tickets than required, you simply discard excess ones. But if you have less than required, you take more from the supply and place them using this side this time, and these tokens will have a negative score during the trip phase. The trip phase is the scoring phase of the game and is done for each player separately. You can use this handy scoring pad to keep track of the score. Let's do this with an example. In the trip phase, it's now the time to score all bonuses and victory points from the cards we just played, starting from Monday in a top to bottom order. So from the first card, I move this attribute 2 spaces to the right, and I also move my morale one space to the left. This card gives me 1 victory point. The next card moves this attribute one space, and morale moves again to the left, thus I have to move this token here and reset the morale marker. The card scores me 3 victory points. From the next card, I move my mood marker 3 spaces to the right, 2 times from the card and once from the train token. Thus, this token moves here and the morale marker resets again. That card scores me 1 victory point, and we move to the highlight of the day. The requirement of this highlight is that you must have at least one of these icons so far in your trip. I have one of those. The benefit is that I will gain all of these bonuses. So, morale marker moves again twice to the right, this token moves twice, and this token again moves twice. So the total points I got from Monday is 5 points. The points from the train will be scored a bit later. On Tuesday, the first card moves this token here, I lose 1 morale, and I gain 4 victory points. The train token moves again my morale to the right. The next card scores me 2 victory points, and I move this attribute here. Now, the next card is a walk card. When you reach a walk card, you flip it over, and you must now decide whether to place it back like this or the other way. If you decide not to flip the card, you will just score 1 victory point, and if it was placed on the top of the stack, you would gain another 2 points. I will choose to flip the card to this side. Regardless whether you flip or not walk or extra walk cards, place one of these walk tokens on the card. This might satisfy the requirement of another day highlight. So this card will score me 3 victory points. I will also move those 2 markers here. From the last card I gain 3 victory points, and I also move this token here. The requirement of the highlight of the day is to reach with this attribute at least the 3rd level, which I have, so I gain another 7 victory points. If, let's say, that marker was here, I would be missing 1 level, so I would not score 7 points. But if I have one of these tokens, I could spend it at this moment to move it forward and gain the bonus. So from Tuesday I got 19 victory points, and then you continue scoring the rest of the days in the same manner. After you do this for all days, players score additional points for the following. You score victory point bonuses or penalties from your placed tickets. You also add points based on the final position of your happiness token, and lose points based on your stress token. Each of the player's experience tokens award victory points based on the reached level. Finally, any unused research token worths 1 victory point. After tallying up scores, the player with the highest score wins. If there is a tie, the tied players add the numbers reached by all their experience tokens, and the highest total wins. If the tie still exists, all tied players share their victory. And that's how you can schedule your visit in Japan. If you like our videos and want to see more, please subscribe to our channel, and until next time, have fun and play more board games.